I mean, no disrespect. No disrespect to anybody else in the National League, whether it be the Brewers, the Cardinals. It doesn't matter. What we saw between the Dodgers and Mets in this four-game series felt like and looked like a lot like playoff baseball. I'm still trying to decompress from this. That was one of the wildest games, one of the wildest series we have seen all season with the New York Mets. It was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. What a crazy finish as the Mets win that game 5-4 in extra innings. A game where they had trailed 2-0 early on, cut it down to 2-1, and really basically stayed 2-1 for almost the entire ball game until the Mets rallied for 3 runs there in the 8th inning. You get the huge double by Lindor, followed by even bigger double by Pete Alonso that ties the game up at 2. Then you get the sac fly from Eduardo Escobar, which initially off the bat I thought had a chance to get out of the ballpark. Stayed in the ballpark, ended up being a sac fly. Mets take a 3-2 lead. And I'm thinking to myself, man, the Mets really need insurance in this game. They need to get another one, maybe 2 or 3 runs before this game is over. That's the only thing they can do. And then they only get the 1 run on the big hit by Nito, makes it a 4-2 game. Now the Buck Shoulders bring in Edwin Diaz. Okay, you know what? Great strategy. Bring in your best pitcher to face their best hitters, guys like Mookie Betts, and, of course, Freddie Freeman, and Trey Turner. Turner, who had a home run earlier in the game. Good strategy. Didn't have his best stuff. Did Diaz. He overthrew a couple of pitches, knocked down Betts at one point, but still found a way to get out of that inning. And then in the 9th inning, when you roll that dice, and I remember in the past that Diaz had issues going out for more than 1 inning in the past, so I can understand from that standpoint. I can understand from the standpoint that, you know, you want to, that was the strategy going to be there the entire way was going to be Diaz in the 8th against the best hitters for the Dodgers, and then you're going to bring in Lugo for the 9th. But man, it backfired. It backfired badly because Lugo just didn't have it. Gives up the lead. The home run by Will Smith, that, again, another ball off the bat that, unlike the Escobar one that I thought had a chance to leave, I thought this had a chance initially off the bat. It was going to stay in the ballpark, but no, it leaves the ballpark. It's 4-3. And then Chris Taylor almost launched a solo home run himself and ended up being called a foul ball. Then, of course, he doubles. Then he comes around to score on the base hit by Alvarez. I mean, it was off the wall. It was absolutely off the wall. And you think to yourself, well, you know, for the first time this season, Buck Showalter is going to have a decision that he had made that's going to come back to bite him, and that's all everyone's going to talk about. The Dodgers are going to win this game. You're thinking to yourself, here we go. Mets are probably going to end up losing 3 out of 4. But no, this team finds ways to win when you least expect it. And, of course, there in the 10th inning with the free runner on second base and Alonso, J.D. Davis gets possibly his biggest hit of the season on the double to drive in Alonso. The ball scoops away from Taylor, ironically, and the Mets get the lead 5-4. And then I'm just sitting there. I think every Met fan, every single Met fan on the planet, is sitting there watching Adonis Medina work around hitters and having the free runner on second base end up on third, and then with the catcher's interference that I didn't think was catcher's interference, and even the broadcast didn't think it was catcher's interference on the check swing against Will Smith, and he ends up getting on base, and then finally, well, that was actually Trey Turner, excuse me. Smith ended up being the one that struck out. Boy, it was just insane. What a crazy, crazy, crazy baseball game and a crazy series. And it comes off of the huge 9-4 win on Saturday night the Mets had against the Dodgers as they end up splitting this series 2-2 games. Absolutely incredible series. So what does this mean? That the Mets go 2-2 here? Well, for right now, the short term anyway, means right now the Mets have the best record in the National League. Take that for what you will at 37-19. But more importantly, it sends a message. I think it sends a huge message to all of Major League Baseball. At least to those who may have scuffed at the Mets. Oh, you know, they look at the NL East, they see that the Braves are, well, they're not our 500 team. They're over 500 now. But the Phillies have been struggling. You know, it's not a great division right now. And a lot of people, I'm sure there are people around baseball saying, oh, the Mets, taking advantage of a bad division. They haven't seen the big teams out west. Here they go on this big West Coast trip, 10 games right now with the Dodgers, Padres, and Angels, going up against the mighty Dodgers, who have been to the World Series, three of the last 4 years, something like that. So they go out there and split a series after dropping the first two, and every single one of these games was close. Even the games the Mets lost. They lost 2-0, and the second game they lost 6-1, just got away from them late. They have been in all these games. Every single game of this series has been tight. And I think the Mets sent a huge message that, one, we are as good as our record says we are. We are a tough team, and we can go up against one of the best teams in baseball and find a way to beat them on the road. That's huge. That was a huge statement by the Mets in this series against what is still a very potent Dodger lineup. I mean, you go up and down that lineup, there's no easy outs in that lineup for the Dodgers, whether it's Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Chris Taylor, Will Smith, Justin Turner, Trey Turner. They have even Cody Bellinger. They have so many big-time hitters. So many big-time hitters in that lineup. Okay? And they're pitching. I know they don't have Kershaw right now, but still, that's a good baseball team. That's a really good baseball team out there in L.A. And the Mets found a way to split that series. And now you go to San Diego. It's another big series against a team that's loaded with talent. And the Mets have to do it all over again. Find a way to take 2 out of 3 there if they can in San Diego before heading to Anaheim to finish up this road trip. But if this is a preview of a potential preview of coming attractions, I say bring it. That's going to be a tremendous. If that's the case, we would be in for a tremendous series between the Mets and the Dodgers if those two teams end up seeing one another in the postseason. Incredible. And can you imagine if that's the case and the Mets would at that point maybe be fully healthy with guys like DeGrom and Scherzer and McGill back in this rotation? That's what's even more impressive about this. They found a way to split this series with those guys out. That's how potent this Mets team is. And look, they have issues in the bullpen, do the Mets, as we saw on display here in this series, especially in the 9th inning today. But they found a way to win. And it's just, again, as I said it before, and I think a lot of Met fans have said it already, it's the attitude this team has, that they believe in one another, that they just find ways to chip away and find ways to get the job done no matter the odds, no matter the opponent. And that was a huge statement that the Mets sent here today. Big win. Big win. Big series. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us coming up this week in San Diego and back in Anaheim before they head back here to New York City to get ready for another big homestand. Like and subscribe right here, folks, to the Sports Talk Nation, and we will talk to you next time.